think it's slim. Although I think that Dwight Howard is the kind of big man that could really, really flourish from the presence of LeBron James, and I thought that he really showed up in that first-round series against Portland to make a good showing for himself because he was outmanned in that post against Portland and undersized to some degree, believe it or not. He still played big, and I give him a lot of credit for that, and I think that he would benefit from LeBron James tremendously, as well as LeBron James. James Harden is a superstar offensively as far as I'm concerned. He is a complete no-show defensively. To watch James Harden play defense is one of the more embarrassing things to witness. This man makes little to no effort to play defense most of the time, and it's true. And if he has a problem with it, because he tends to have a problem with anything that I say these days, because he's incredibly sensitive, all he needs to do is go and watch tape of himself, and it will speak for itself. All I'm doing is reporting what everybody that watches basketball knows. James Harden is big time offensively. He's an all-star. He's a superstar in the making. Defensively, he's a no-show, period. When you look at it from that perspective, however, I think that because of Houston's system, and you certainly don't want to do anything to underestimate Daryl Morey, you know, you've got Chandler Parsons available to you. Omar Sheik wanted to be out there before even last season began because he felt that he should have been that big man, that preeminent presence in the front in the front court. And then, of course, Jeremy Lin has not lived up to snuff, and he's due a huge payday in his third season in Houston that they don't want to give up. So in order to do that, first, LeBron James would have to be willing to come there, and then in all likelihood, somebody would have to be willing to take that baggage off of Houston's roster. And I'm certainly not qualifying Parsons as baggage, but you would have to get rid of some of those guys, and I don't know if they would be successful in their venture to do so. So I would say it's a long shot, to be kind. Plus, that doesn't appear to be one of LeBron James' preferences. As I've said before, Miami and Cleveland in that order are at the top of that list, even though there are some teams that can get into the mix because LeBron is all about business. It's about Miami and Cleveland. Those are the two teams that have considerable edge.
Okay, I said yesterday I thought that LeBron James would be foolish to leave Miami. But I must admit to you, when I read this USA Today story today, as in earlier this morning, I had one of those eureka moments where I thought, wow, if LeBron is going to go anywhere, it would be this where. Because we've had Daryl Morey on the show, Stephen A. As you know, he is a can-do guy who gets things done when you least expect it. How did he pull off the James Harden deal? I still don't get it. I have no idea why Oklahoma City traded James Harden. That's a whole other issue. But Daryl Morey just happened to be at the right place at the right time to let James Harden fall right into his lap, right out of heaven. And Daryl Morey did land Dwight Howard. I got to give him that. And he said in this story that signing Dwight Howard showed the rest of the league that Houston is now a Tier 1 destination. I'm buying that. So I'm thinking that under this owner, and you read that great quote, the owner has
done some great things.
Yeah, he's got that aggressiveness in his DNA, and I'm the tip of the spear.
Yep.
That's true. So I look back at Les Alexander's tenure. 95, they went out and got Clyde Drexler. 96, Charles Barkley. 98, Scottie Pippen. 04, Tracy McGrady. 14, could it be either LeBron or Carmelo? And I remind you, Stephen A., it was several years ago, but in this story it was pointed out that Melo was once quoted as saying the one star that Melo would love to play with, and we know he would like to play with LeBron, but it's Dwight Howard. I think a lot of guys would like to play with Dwight to give them that post presence as a true center. I'm not the biggest Dwight fan, as you know, but still, I could see where that would raise the eyebrows of both LeBron and Carmelo if they started thinking, wow, I could play with Dwight. In LeBron's case, he could play point forward because I think James Harden is a little better off the ball, not as the pure point guard. I hear you about playing defense, but James Harden has guts. I like his guts. I like his big game toughness. You know, I think you agree with that part, right?
No, without question, man, and which is why I get disgusted at him being so damn sensitive. The dude is a big-time player.
Yep.
He's got a lot of heart. He's not scared. I want the ball in his hands. He's certainly capable of making big-time shots. I know this about him. But, Skip, I'm not talking about somebody who can't play defense like he can't defend. I'm talking about somebody who won't defend.
Yep.
I'm talking about somebody who turns his back to offensive players, let them run around. He's sitting there looking at them where they at because he turned his back and didn't pay any attention.
Yep.
I'm talking about a guy that on far too many occasions has completely fallen asleep on defense. That is not about skill. I would never be as sacrilegious as to question the skill of James Harden. But when it comes to defense, there is no doubt that you can question the effort. And I don't care what anybody says. I have factual tapes to prove exactly what I'm saying about James Harden.
In your library, right?
You know that. Come on, Skip. You know me. You know I go home on the weekends. If I'm not TiVoing, if I'm not watching TiVo episodes of General Hospital or Scandal or 24, I'm watching tape.
Or the Netherlands playing the World Cup, right?
Well, no, it's that I tape basketball games and I go back and I watch just like a scout does.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And I'm telling you, James Harden plays no defense. He doesn't. The effort is not there.
What's funny, when Oklahoma City used to try to go at the Lakers in the postseason, they'd try to fight and scratch with them. James Harden would take
defend Kobe.
I know, and he would play the heck out of him. So
that's right.
I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm with you.
Again, we're not talking about skill. We're talking about effort.
Okay, so bottom line here is, what has occurred to me is, I would bet, if I were a betting man, we're about to talk about if I were a betting man with Tony Romo, right? But if I were a betting man, I would bet that Daryl Morey's going to land either LeBron or Carmelo. That's just a gut feeling because it's set up for that.